So, let's hop in. I'm gonna mute my mic and let's just experience the film. Alright. I guess that's it. Okay. Well, okay, hold on. Before I even start, what was it say? What does it say? Hold on. Comedy. 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 Okay. All right. So, here. Let's see the description. Star. Okay, it's just the credits. All right. Great short movie about doing what makes you happy and not wearing what others want for you, but you need for yourself. Choosing to be a bit selfish is okay. Well done, Matt. Well done, Matt. Alright, so, okay, how do I approach this? Let me start with our overall. So, overall, it was a pretty good film. Not gonna lie, it was pretty good. It hit all the right points. There was nothing throwing me off. I felt like I was still watching a movie. I was not watching an amateur stuff or a vlog, that kind of stuff like that. It kept me in, made me feel like I'm watching the film. I'm still watching the film. Stuff is still going on. There's a narrative, there's a text, and then there's a subtext. It makes me feel that. So that's what's going on here. Now, there's a lot of good stuff going on here. So let's start with the themes and the tone. Well, clearly it's a very light-hearted film. It's very light-hearted. It's very chill. It's comedy. It's more of you. It's more to the film, I believe, was made to be more of you looking inside yourself if you're in this kind of position where you feel pressured by peers or people around you, and this film is to showcase, or to not really showcase, but to tell you that, hey, it's fine, it's fine, you do you and you keep going, it's fine. In terms of acting and characters, pretty good. Characters, pretty good. I mean, everything was just great. Even cinematography, even cinematography was pretty good. I mean, there's nothing throwing off. Even music didn't throw me off. The production design didn't really throw me off. Nothing really did throw me off. I mean, there was nothing really standing out that was bad about this film, honestly. Everything was pretty good. The only thing that I would say, or that I would, hammer on with this film particularly, is it's always going to be the story. It's always going to be the story. The story was lacking in quite a bit, I get it, it's comedy, but have you seen comedies? Comedies still have this kind of feeling where you're in a roller coaster of emotions, that's how any narrative film should be. You should have this kind of roller coaster of emotions, going through this kind of roller coaster of emotions. Even though you're still shooting a short film, it is possible to still have that. So in this one, it was just, it was streamlined, basically. It was linear. There wasn't really I didn't feel like there was any danger. I didn't feel like there was any change or extreme change of emotion involved, or there was something drastic that happened that stood out, you know. There was nothing like that. It was just very linear, and if that was the purpose of it, then, you know, kudos to you and great job, you know. But in terms of as an entertainment value, if you're looking to also entertain too as well, and not just, you know, send out a message and that's it, you can still send a message while being entertaining. So I do feel like it needs to have that roller coaster, that up and downs, those ups and downs. Like, it needs to be there. In terms of, if we're talking specifically for this story, let me see how I would put this. So the main thing, I guess the meat that we're missing in this film was, we didn't feel the stakes of what she needed. Like, there were no stakes involved. There was no, I'm not gonna say urgency, because that's a different one. That's like a different kind of thing in this kind of sense of this film. But goals and stakes are a huge thing, right? They're two huge things. She had a goal, or there was a goal at least. Her goal was to figure out if she wants to have kids or not have kids, and which, well, clearly that's the message. But there was no stakes involved. We got the goal, that's the message, but the stakes is what brings in the entertainment. The stakes wasn't there. We didn't feel like, okay, if she chose this, you know, this decision, then she would leave this other decision, or she would leave this other important stuff, and that will make her feel emotionally dropped or elevated or whatever it could be. But, you know, we will feel for that kind of decision. Like, she has to have like an ultimatum or some kind of decision going forward into it. Or if she chose this other decision here and left this other one behind, like if she said, okay, fine, I will go with the Pierres, or I'll get the kids, then we need to see the stakes involved. Or if she chooses, okay, fine, I'm not gonna get any kids, then we need to see the consequences of that. You know, we need to see the stakes that's involved in that, basically. So that's just, I guess, in a general nutshell, that's just what was lacking, is what I would say. But everything from this film hit the right points. Acting, the theme, the vibe, cinematography, music, directing, editing, dialogue, everything hit the right spots. Even the last like bit of the letter, you know, like how make it, I'm glad they chose the decision of making it feel childish, you know, like they wrote it very childish, and the words were even spelled childishly. So I'm glad that was kept in like that, because that was great. I mean, it hit all the right points. It just lacked on that stakes part. It had the goals, but it didn't have any stakes. It didn't have any urgency. So yeah, I would definitely say this was pretty good, you know, very solid. So let's leave our comment. What are we gonna say overall? (1920, 1080, 24). Okay, cool. Let's move on. Put this at the highest quality possible, and let's just go.
You'd think that these days you couldn't get lost, but you can.
Alright, okay. I had to just skip through a couple of things, because okay, let's just read the description first. So Long, a film made with my friends, a film about our very single emotion of warmth when we meet an old acquaintance with whom we have a long relationship. Okay, a word I would say from Korea called jung. Oh, you Korean? Are you sure? Are you sure you're from Korea? Puts in very precisely. It means that a bond is tugged tightly by two people who never sever, no matter what happens, even if they're not friends anymore. They will still care for each other. Made after 5 years. Both of them are brilliant movement artists, or as they say in Greek, a god's athlete. Ooh, that's a nice name. First, this A needs to be underscore. I'm just saying. Anyways, a god's athlete. That's a pretty nice name or title. Oh, also, the period needs to be inside the. I'm just nitpicking right now. Anyways, in this film, I just tried to encapsulate that feeling. All right. First of all, before I even go any further, let me just tell you, it is great work. It is beautiful. Let me just say what would be the main thing about this film and what I think you should really look at a little bit closer, because this is super important. All right, when you have a film like this that is literally just voiceover and a lot of, you know, those movements and stuff going on, you know, that kind of stuff, there's not really a lot going on visually. There's not really a lot going on to us as an audience emotionally. The key to still making it work and still making it feel just like in that right spot is your length. The length of it. You have to cut down that length to like a lot. Like literally, you can cut 5 minutes off this. Just, you know what, dude? Nara, Bumanyu, Nara, just try this out. Cut 5 minutes off this whole segment, off this whole film here. Cut 5 minutes, but still make it make sense. You know, still hit your points, but just cut 5 minutes off it. You know, whatever. If you feel something can be dropped visually or from your voiceover, just drop it. Just drop it. Hit your main points and cut 5 minutes off this. Re-upload it. See how it does, or upload it wherever you want to upload it and just see how it does. I'm telling you, the shorter this would be, the more impactful it would be. I'm telling you this, because this dragged on for a little too long. Not a little too long, a lot long. That's why I just skipped over to the end to see if there's anything different changing. Here is one more thing I would also suggest about this is this feels like if you're doing stuff like this, you know, there's a lot of voiceover and there's not really a lot going on visually, but you know, this very nice, smooth, deep kind of feeling going on visually. It's got to be visually appealing, and I feel like this was an opportunity. If you're doing something like this, it doesn't just mean for you, Nara, anyone out there. If you're doing something like this, you have to kind of make it, not even kind of, you have to make it look very visually appealing, very visually interesting, because this frames, honestly, let me tell you this, there's this channel called Every Frame a Painting, and I do believe in that, you know, something like this. Every frame, I don't really believe in every frame a painting. I do believe in every shot a painting. That means every single shot that you have should feel like a painting, like it was a painter's work that worked on that. Like if you look at something like Blade Runner, or like what's that film, man, Mad Max, every frame can literally be put up as a painting. That's how this should feel, because it has so much depth, it has so much going on, the visuals look interesting in each of the shots, and that's how this should feel like. But you know, this didn't really feel like that, but I get it. You're kind of limited to what you have, and you're trying to make something, which is good. Make it out and put it out. But then my main issue, like I said, is just the length. Just shave off 5 minutes off this and upload it, and let's see how that goes. All right, just shave off 5 minutes, and you got copyright music going on, bruh. Anyways, let's leave a comment. You know, let's leave a comment and just see if we can, you know, help a fellow filmmaker out. What kind of thumbnail is this? 10 minutes, a little over, but you know, it's still there. Let me just see what I'm in for. Viper thriller. Alright, this looks a little promising. Oh, it's even shorter. It's not up to 10 minutes, it's about 9 minutes. The rest is just credits. You know what? Let's go in. Let's hop in. It looks promising. It looks like it has some good stuff. It's like it's hitting some good marks. So let's see what it's about. $720? Why would you do this on $720, man? Alright, let's go in. Let's dive in. I may be overreacting, so let's just see how this is gonna go, you know?
It's done. It's fine.
Yo, I was hearing so much wind there when he opened the door, but literally his hair or none of his clothes were flailing about nothing. I mean, if you're gonna put a sound effect like that, at least, you know, plan that ahead of time so you can have like a leaf blower, so when he opens the door, you blast that thing. You gotta make us not just hear it or see it, you gotta make us feel it. That's what films is about. We feel things. We don't just hear and see. We feel them. That's what makes us a film. Alright?
Finally over. Years of planning, months of prep.
Alright. Alright. Well, here's what I'm gonna say. Alright. Okay, like I said, don't judge a book by its cover just because it's $720. Doesn't mean it's going to be bad. But still, then again, I would still stand strong on my 1080 thing that I felt this could have been easily 1080. I don't know why this is 720. Maybe it's a decision that someone made and was like, you know what, it's YouTube and I'm not trying to make this, you know, that public. I'm trying to keep it confidential or something, so let me put it up on as 720. Maybe that's a reason, maybe that's why. But still, dude, it's YouTube. Come on. Come on. Put that shit on 1080, man. Put that shit on 1080. Anyways, the thing is, here's the thing, right? This was comedy. This was thriller. Well, it did have some comedy, which it should have been comedy rather than thriller, because this wasn't a thriller. This was more of a comedy and drama thing. Well, thriller is more I guess it does have a little sprinkle of thriller. It does have a little sprinkle of them. Anyways, this was pretty good. See, this is the difference between a film like this versus our very first one that we watched, which was, what was it, Breed, right? Breed versus this one, Viper. Here's the thing, both of them can both be considered thrillers and be in that same kind of mark as thriller, or sorry, as a comedy, not thriller. The difference is this one had stakes involved and even had a little bit of urgency involved too as well. That's the difference. The first one, Breed, it just had goals. It was just a goal in mind. It was just the goals was planned out, which is the message. The message was planned out. but it lacked in stakes and it lacked in urgency. But this one had the goals. It had the goals. Very clear and stated goals. It had the stakes, which, well, it didn't state it very clear, but we can see what the stakes are. We can guess what the stakes are, and matter of fact, we even see what the stakes are. In terms of urgency, it's there. It's also there, and let me break it down for you, right? The goal is simple. The guy is just trying to get to Mexico. Illegally, I'm guessing, on a plane ticket to Mexico. I don't know in this film, it doesn't matter what the technicals are of how this thing is supposed to work with this. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter because first of all, I don't even know it, but I was entertained. I was entertained by it and I liked it. Not the 720 part, but anyways, that's a different topic. It had the goals involved. In terms of stakes, we can see the stakes. Someone else who shouldn't have known where he should be is coming to the place where no one should have known where he is. That's stakes. That is stakes right there. Who knows what this person is? Who knows what this person is gonna do? Who knows what's gonna happen? There's so much involved in that. So that's why the stakes are up there. They're up. In terms of urgency, now clearly that's a plane ticket, so it's gotta expire at some point, right? And also there's the urgency of this guy says he's gonna be here in a few hours. So this person that we don't know, aka Viper, is gonna be here in a few hours, which he's not supposed to be, is gonna be here. That's urgency. Like, okay, what do I do now? Someone that is not supposed to know where this person is coming to this place now, and I don't know who the hell this is. What do I do? That's urgency there. It hit all those points, which is great. It's all great. Like, I feel like this should be a comedy first before it's a thriller, because the thriller is more of showing off the blood and the guts and all of that thrilling stuff. You know, but this was more of a comedy and drama, because it did keep me there, and I was like, oh, funny points here, funny point there, but man, it really did hit all those points, and I really like this. I really like this. That's the difference between this having all those 3 points versus having just 1 point, which is your message. It feels more of like, I might as well just shoot a documentary. If you're just gonna make a message or just have goals involved in your film, you might as well just shoot a documentary and not call it a film or a short film, but if you're doing something like this now, I'm gonna give you that thumbs up, because you got that short films going on. You got 3 things: the goals, the stakes, and the urgency. You got that going on. Now, let me just talk about that 720 part, man. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what the hell you're doing with that 720, but alright, you do you, you do you. I'm gonna go back to my notes here, because this was a good film. This was a pretty good film, and I feel like this can be talked about within this point. Let's see. Themes and tone. Let's see. It's pretty good on that. I mean, like, it did entertain me. It didn't really educate me. It was entertaining, Let's skip on. Acting, yeah, pretty good. Characters, pretty good. That is without a doubt. Direction. Hold on, before I even move on to the other thing. So when it comes to like voiceovers and stuff in terms of short films, I'm not really a big fan of voiceovers unless it's like, just for a short or a little bit. But this was for like the whole film, which it worked out pretty well. Like, it did work out pretty well. Good job on incorporating a full voiceover throughout the whole film with everything that's going on. Like, pretty good job. Music and sound effects, yeah, nothing threw me off there. Cinematography, pretty good. I mean, dude, we already know that. Production design, bruh, do I gotta go there? that was spot on. Dialogue, it hit all the points, yo. I don't really have anything further to say. Like honestly, like it just hit all the great points. Like it had everything there. The only thing is just that 720 part, man. It's just that 720 part. Anyways, we got behind the scenes going on. I'm gonna check that later. I'm not gonna check that now. This show him down the style of Hitchcock meets Twilight Zone. Yeah, I did have that little feeling of Hitchcocky thing going on, which is pretty interesting. I'm glad you're taking on those footsteps, you know. I'm glad with that. It was shot in the winter, Chicago, Illinois. Yo, what the? Oh, I didn't even see the date, yo. I didn't even see the date. 2011, yo, you probably have like a lot of experience by now. It's been a decade. You probably have like a lot of experience and you probably are doing like mad good. A lone criminal hiding in a safe house is terrorized by a mysterious caller. Dude, you don't have to say anything more than that. Like, George, if you did this a decade ago, I can't even imagine what you can even do now, right now. Like a decade later, like, dude, this is amazing, yo. With that, we'll just hit that thumbs up, you know, hit that thumbs up, leave a comment, and let's see, do we got time for one more? All right, we got time for one more, just one more short one. All right, we'll take a look at it. This will be the last one. And widescreen? Oh, thank you. If you're doing widescreen, you better have a good reason for that. I mean, just because it's cinematic doesn't mean you should do it. Oh, it's by 900. It's not 817 or 816. It's by 900. Leave some room around, you know, 24 frames per second. Pretty good. 1080. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, let's check it out. Oh, I also want to point out, I don't know much about Rainbow Six Siege, but I do know it's like, it's not really like Call of Duty, but it's more of like, Call of Duty slash, I'm not gonna say Overwatch. Anyways, I do get the premise of Rainbow Six Siege. I do know a little bit about it. I don't know too much about it. So let's just see what this is gonna do. Pretty nice intro so far. Some work that was done here. What?
Sludge doesn't wear a hood.
Oh yeah, he does.
Alright, hold on. I've got to. Okay, at least this is not a weird, like, kind of mind-blowing short film. It's just the expectations really did not meet the reality, and the reality did not also justify the reality. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but what? Hold on. Okay, let's just talk real quick about this film. All right, this was pretty good. Hold on, what's this? Anyways, yo, Rainbow Six Siege, fan-made film, dude. What the hell? This was pretty good. And then at the same time, it was, huh? I'll explain why in a few minutes. Let me just read the description real quick. Yay, it's finally done. And in August 3 years later. 3 years later. I wonder why this took 3 years to make. because at that ending I felt like, oh, it was a house that, you know, someone had that you knew, and they're tearing it down and trying to, I guess, redo the house, or what's it called, flip the house. So they saw an opportunity while during flipping the house to just shoot a short film, and at the same time kind of break it and make it feel like it's a short film. I don't know. Anyways, basically this project was just never completed and sat on my editing bin forever because I have had a lot of stuff going on, low motivation, and the curse to want everything to be perfect. Okay, so that's probably why, because it was sitting on drive for a long time. That's probably why. Okay, it took you 3 years. Understood. I get that. Actors, yes, a version of Sledge was red hair. We can convince Ryan to shave his head. Okay, I wouldn't get this joke or this reference. I would not get it. I don't know who the hell Sledge is, and if Sledge is a person, you should capitalize that S. Anyways, I wouldn't get it, but it didn't matter to me. It really did not matter to me. Absolutely nothing. Put that out there. Behind the scenes is on the way. I'll link it in the card. Okay, cool. Alright, let's just talk about a few things here. Story wise, I mean, I don't know, this was a fan film. There's the story, there's the goals. The guy is trying to get to the hostage, to rescue the hostage. Very simple as that. I think the only thing that was kind of throwing me off, which I was going back to look at, but it's not really a big deal. It's not really a big deal at all. It's just the effects that was used, the visual effects that was used in the film was a little bit off. This was fine, all of this was fine, but where was the part that felt a little off or so? I know one very clear path apart. So okay, they got this split screen thing going on. Oh, okay, so I guess here, let's talk about this place. This is why a script supervisor would have been pretty good, or a good script supervisor would have noticed or so, but I did notice, and which it didn't really take me out of the film. It's just something that you should think about when you're doing something, a film next. Notice how this guy is laying down on the ground after being blasted by a shotgun through the wall, right? And hold on. First of all, I understand that this is Rainbow Six, right? Rainbow Six Siege. So they got people camping up in different corners of the room. So we're just like, wait, why the hell are people just in different rooms when there's a hostage in one specific room? So why are people in? Anyways, I get it. Rainbow Six Siege. I don't know what the hell that is about. But let's talk about this. This guy is lying down right here because he was blasted through the wall from a shotgun. He's lying down. Check this out. In a few minutes. Oh, what? He even moved. You saw that? Don't tell me you didn't see that. Look at his arm here. His arm moved. He's supposed to be dead, but his arm moved and something else moved. I don't know if it was a rotoscope something. Was it just the arm that moved? Yeah, it was just his arm that moved. He's supposed to be dead. Anyways, but that's something that you should just look at, and if you're in that position like this and one shot, just try and freeze frame him. Freeze frame him and track the shot. Yeah, track the shot because the shot is moving. It's probably is a digital move, but just in case you actually did move it with the camera, just freeze frame him when he's on the ground dead. Freeze frame him and track the shot. Keep that freeze frame there, and then you have your move here. You're not really moving towards, you know, in the 3D realm, the Z axis, so that's just a pretty steady shot there that you can just keep there. And here, see the shot. This is the next shot when he's coming into that room to finish off that person. I guess he's not completely dead, so that's why he twitched there. Now his back is all against the wall. He's supposed to be lying down here. There wasn't really any long passage of time to give this trail of blood that he woke up and it was in pain and came down here, and this guy now came to the room because he literally showed in the same last shot that this guy, Sledge, I'll call him by his name, Sledge, came into the room at the same exact moment. So this guy should not be here. This guy should be lying down here, I guess twitching or something, or showing a little sign of life. So that's just one of the things there. Another thing was let's see, this was the shotgun part. No, not shotgun, the bomb part. He just blew up the place. And what else? What's this? Okay, lighting wise, I mean, lighting wise was it was okay. It was okay. I mean, for if you're doing something like this, Rainbow Six Siege, for fan film, and you're going for it, you're going for the kill, go all out, you know, go all out. Rainbow Six Siege is a game, so you can be as stylistic as you want it to be, completely different from what the original is if you want, but still have the core values of what makes the game, you know, keep it there. But this, if you're trying to ground it like this felt more natural and felt more grounded. It kind of had, I had to still kind of think like, okay, am I watching an actual naturalistic or realistic kind of part of real life versus am I watching a fan film of a game? You know, there's that difference, and it should be all in one. I should feel like, oh yes, I am watching a fan film. This is a fan film, and this is stylistic. This is unreal. This is supposed to feel unreal, but at the same time still keep the core values of what the original is supposed to be. Let's see here. What was this? This was the hammer part. Just blasted that and that. I think there was another point or so. I forgot what it was. It's interesting that this didn't have any music going on. I don't know if that's a Rainbow Six thing or that's just a creative choice that you make not to have any music, but you know, pretty good. I mean, that didn't throw me off at all. It was just, it was good. Anyways, so this would be the end. That was the last short film of the day. We have, I think we reviewed four films, I think. Pretty good. Pretty good collection so far for today. First one was pretty good, set the bar, and then I think was the third one, that was the 721 or so, kind of set the bar a little higher, which was for a 720p, dude, pretty good job, you know. But pretty good selection today so far. We skipped over some others that was like 20 minutes, not doing that, and then some anime ones or animation ones. Skipped over that because we're not doing animations right now, especially those kind of animations. Those was a specific kind of animation. We're not doing that. And then we came over one that was the good one that was spreading the positive vibe for quarantining, right? But you know, just fell short on a lot of things. And anyways, this was a great end. Living it with some action. There was no horror today. Well, because we're on a different subreddit, that's why there was no horror. I think the next one probably we should go back to that. Not back to that, but we should go to the short horror subreddits, and that's where we will find the horror. But we don't really have to always keep doing the horror. It's good to always see the other genres around there and, you know, give our 2 cents on it. Overall, was great films today, really great. I only used this twice, had to use this twice. The rest was just, you know, I could tell what's going on, you know. I don't really have to go too in depth. Other than that, I think we're good to go, and I'll see you guys maybe next week, maybe the next week. But you would know on my Twitter or on my Instagram, whichever one, you know. You would know. Just subscribe, stay subscribed, and you'll get to know when the next one is coming up. Should be next week, could be the next, but other than that, peace out. I'll see you guys in the next one.